If you have heard of the Rolling Stones, then you must be a fan of rock and roll, interested in the legends who shaped the music industry. But do you remember what life was like for them in 1965? A time when the world was changing, and the Rolling Stones were at the forefront of a cultural revolution. Today, we invite you to step back in time and take a glimpse into the lives of the Rolling Stones in 1965, through a collection of captivating photographs. The Danish photographer Bent Ray found himself in the right place at the right time when he began photographing the Rolling Stones. As the band embarked on their first tour of Denmark, Ray's friendship with the promoters allowed him to follow them throughout Scandinavia. He became particularly close with Brian Jones, the guitarist, who sought solace in Copenhagen from the whirlwind of the Rolling Stone lifestyle. When the Stones toured Germany in September 1965, Ray was the only photographer they would accept to accompany them. He had become a member of their family. Ray stayed with Brian at his house in Chelsea and started capturing moments through his lens. The results were so impressive that he decided to photograph the entire band. Bill and Charlie were quick to agree, while Richards, who didn't have a home at the time, joined them in a suite at the Hilton. Mick Jagger, however, was hesitant until Ray convinced him that the photographs could bring in good money. Let's take a closer look at the homes of these iconic musicians. In June 1965, Mick Jagger moved to 13A Bryanston Mews East, London. His house was a reflection of the modern era, with open-plan living and the latest G-plan furniture. Ray noted that there was no dividing line between the sitting room and kitchen, just bookshelves. When Ray arrived to photograph Mick, Chrissy, Mick's girlfriend at the time, slipped out the back, wanting to be left in peace. It was a casual atmosphere, with breakfast often happening in the late afternoon. Bill Wyman, born William George Perks, was living in a flat at 8, Kenilworth Court in Penge when Ray visited him. The decor of Wyman's home was described as ordinary, with greenish furniture and walls. It was a humble abode for a man who would become a rock and roll legend. Meanwhile, Mick and Keith had previously shared a flat with Brian at Edith Grove in Chelsea before moving to northwest London. They eventually settled at 10A Holly Hill in Hampstead in June 1964. However, by April 1965, Richards and Jagger had left the Holly Hill flat. Keith found himself temporarily homeless and sought refuge in a suite at the Hyde Park Hilton. It was during this time that Ray captured a photograph of the bedroom, complete with newly delivered laundry. Interestingly, the camera equipment in the room belonged to Richards himself, who was an avid photographer. These photographs, taken by Bent Ray, offer a unique glimpse into the lives of the Rolling Stones in 1965. They capture a moment in time when the band was on the cusp of greatness, revolutionizing the music industry and leaving an indelible mark on history. The most exciting part is still ahead, so let's immerse ourselves in these images and reminisce about that era. Join us on this journey through time, as we savor the history encapsulated in these photographs.